All right, we're gonna do this video. It's gonna be a great one. If we can set up the camera. Nice. Okay. So this video is how to stop overthinking. Genuinely, like actually, I feel like I've watched so many videos and had so many people telling me how to stop overthinking. Oh, well, just stop thinking. Oh, this, oh, that. But there's not. I feel like there's not a true, there's not a true step-by-step explanation that someone has ever given me to how to stop overthinking. Overthinking is one of the worst things that you can ever do, ever. And life actually all stems from the mind. How you live your life it all stems from your mind. So overthinking is something that actually plays such a huge part in why your life goes the way it goes. It's absolutely insane because the more I learn and the more I understand the things that come to me, I realize that all the overthinking that you do is actually working against you. It's kind of crazy how much it works against you. Literally every single thing that you do, it works against you. You don't need to overthink. And usually what happens is most of the time when we do overthink, it's pointless thoughts, and it's thoughts that are just circulating in the mind like this. It's like you're a dog chasing its tail. Thoughts that we don't really need. Thoughts that are getting energy that don't need any sort of energy, when you can keep that energy to yourself and put that into actual intention, into something else, and actually doing something, right? So the first step, well, before I say the first step, I think that you have to understand how the mind works. So your brain actually is very good at retaining information past, and it's also great at not predicting, but thinking and visualizing the future. That's what our minds are great at. That's how God created our minds. Our minds should be used as manifestation tools and to recall information whenever it's needed. Those are the only two times really you need your brain. I can't think of another time where you really need your brain, right? And when you're doing critical thinking, for example, all you're doing is going back and think about all the information you have learned. Your brain is like a Google Drive, right? It's going back and think about all the information that you have learned and putting it together to have a critical thought. So most of the time you don't even need to go that far in your day-to-day life, depending on what you're doing, of course. But what I realized that set me up, let me have the edge as far as not overthinking, was actually disidentifying myself from my mind, right? Just hold on, guys. Listen to what I'm saying. Disidentifying myself from the mind. When you are at the gym, right? Or you're playing a sport, what happens is people always are like, damn, that felt so good. Right after you work out, right after you did this, right after you did that, you feel so good. The reason why is it's because you actually have to be so present to the point where you're actually just doing what you need to do. For example, let's say you're bench pressing. You have to be so focused on what you're doing that you can't think. That's when your brain actually gets shut off, because you have to just do rather than think, right? And what happens is when we kind of sit in idle, we don't realize that your brain is what's actually thinking, not you. It's your brain. It's your tool, the tool that you have in your head. And people don't know how to actually control their brain in order to think when they need to think and not think when they don't have to think, right? So I just wanted to kind of make that clear, like the reason why maybe, and I want you to connect with maybe something like working out or something like playing sports, so that you do understand the feeling of what it's like to not overthink and try to, get to that point again where you can just live life like that and enjoy life, enjoy presence, without having to be so caught up in your mind. So first thing that you have to do in order to stop overthinking is realize that your brain is a tool, right? And you are you. Your brain is a tool and you are you. Your thoughts aren't really you. Because again, your brain is good at recalling information, running in circles. Your brain is very logical, right? And your brain, all it does is recall information, think about this, think about that, think about boom, 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 what's going on here? Oh, why is this like that? Your brain is a logical tool, right? So what happens is we end up letting our brain consume us by letting it ramble and think and do all these crazy thoughts and all thinking about this and that and stuff. And we actually mistake ourselves into thinking that our brain is really us. But in reality, our brain is really consuming us, right? I hope you guys are kind of picking up what I'm laying down as far as just, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible so you guys can understand. But as soon as you disidentify yourself from your brain and you start watching your thoughts, observing your thoughts, that alone is going to help you. That's the first step, right? As soon as you catch yourself thinking about something that, maybe doesn't need to really put thought into, you don't really need to put thought into it, right? It can go so deep as you might actually just hear yourself rambling about something, and then you're just like, wait a second, no, that's not, like, why am I even thinking about this, right? I'm sure we've all done it before, like, oh, why am I even thinking about this? That alone, that right there is true presence, because now you caught your brain thinking about random things that you didn't even need to think about. So the whole point is to get to the point where you're so much in control of your thought process that every time a thought does appear into your head, you're able to observe that thought. Watch the thinker, essentially, because your brain is the thinker, right? Watch the thought. And as soon as you watch the thought, guess what happens? The thought dissolves like this. The thought literally dissolves like this. It's insane. And in your day-to-day, if you can just practice by just watching your thought and just watching your brain when it's thinking about this, that, if you can slowly start implementing, just watching your brain, this sounds crazy, and having true presence, right? And being able to just really, truly focus on where you're at right now. For example, right now, I'm so focused on just talking to this camera. My brain, it can't think, right? It can't think. I'm just flowing. I'm letting my heart speak. I'm letting my heart, my mind is connected. I'm letting my heart speak. I'm just doing what I need to do, right? Because that's me, not my brain, right? So if you can just start implementing that first step alone, you will see a dramatic difference, right? It's tough because you have to control that beast, basically your mind. You have to control the mind first. You have to start by just observing the thoughts, realizing, hey, why am I thinking about this? Or don't even say that, but just observe it. As soon as you observe it and you become fully present and not think about anything or not even give it any energy, what happens is it dissolves. So that's what you need to do as far as the first step. Once you're able to do that, from there, what happens is sometimes too, you think about, when you think about, oh, I want that thought to stop, right? Oh, why am I keep thinking about this? I want it to stop. What happens is it slips back in through the back of your head, kind of. It's like a illusion. Like, you think you're trying to stop thinking about it, but what happens is it goes back into your head. So that's why it's important to just observe the thought. And as soon as you observe the thought, just be like, a thought comes into your head, you just, oh, you see that thought. Okay. As soon as that happens, you become present. And presence is the true key to, first of all, anything in life, anything that you want to do in life. Be present where you're at. First of all, you don't really need to think as much as you might think you need to think, right? Really, you don't. You can just, have intention and do. You have to do, right? And our mind kind of doesn't let us do that. So if you can just do that first thing, right? and just slowly work that into your life. Slowly become more present by just watching and observing the mind whenever it does want to ramble off, right? And truly be who you are truly called to be. You will stop overthinking. You will literally stop overthinking, right? Feel with your heart. Feel with your gut in your heart, right? Stop overthinking by observing the thought. Feel with your heart and do what your heart tells you. God put something on your heart. Feel that. Feel that feeling, because your mind it's impossible for your mind to understand how your heart feels. The reason why is because your mind is a very logical thing. It needs to make sense in order for your mind to be okay with something. And we don't realize that our heart is really what drives us to do the things that we want to do. You know, society has taught us not to think with our heart, but to not to feel with our heart, but to think with our mind and think logically. But what happens is we actually fall into traps like that. We fall into a ton of traps like that. Guys, I hope you guys are picking up what I'm laying down. I mean, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. But if you have more questions, text me. Feel free to text me. But this is what changed my life, as far as just being genuinely present in life. And you have so much clarity. You have so much, you enjoy life now because you get to be truly present, you know? And you just get to be present. You get to enjoy where you're at. You don't have to think and overthink about something, you know? Like right now, I'm sitting in this car. I just enjoy sitting in this car just by sitting in it. I'm just here. Right now, currently in this moment, is anything going wrong right now as I'm making this video? No, nothing. I'm here. I'm present, you know? And the only way to get like that is to stop overthinking. And by following just that first initial step, it's very simple. It's not hard at all. Don't overcomplicate things in it. Just watch the mind whenever it does wild out and let the thought dissolve, and then come back to presence. Come back to where you're at. Pinch yourself. Feel that pinch. Feel that pinch. Realize that you're here. You're here right now. Be present. So yeah, that's a quick video. I mean, not quick. This was actually a longer video than what I normally post, but I really had it on my heart to post this video. I feel like some people are going to really genuinely benefit from this. Again, if you have any more questions, drop them in the comments. Text me, have me on DM, AJ the Truth on Instagram. I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys about it. And yeah, I just, you know, this is the video that I wanted to make. So yeah, guys, that's it. Like, subscribe. I would, you know, I would really gladly appreciate that. I'm glad that you guys, whoever's watching this right now, I'm glad you were able to click on this video and spend some time with me and feel my energy. And, you know, whoever's watching this behind the screen, I hope you're able to benefit from this and move forward genuinely. So that's it. Thank you guys so much.